action to head off the emergency. In other words, those hand-picked leaders by the president, first thing they do, they send them in, try to get black folk to stand down. You know, now don't try to go in and tell them, don't tell them you came in there to stop them. Go on and let them march a couple of blocks. Yeah, let them march a couple of blocks. Let them sit down on the highway for 20 minutes. But then cause them to stand down. Lead them into the paddy wagons. Or talk to them and say, all right, y'all, it's time for us to go now. 2, countdown to 8 hours begins at the moment the president determines the emergency to be national, coordinated, and it's going to last a while. 3, county police join local police. That's the 7th hour. 6th hour, state police join county and local police. 5th hour, federal marshals join state, county, and local forces. 4th hour, National Guard units are federalized and held in readiness. Now, down to the 3rd hour now. Regular armed forces alerted, take up position. Now notice this, highlight this part. Minority troops divided and detained. Y'all see this? In other words, yeah, you in the Army, you in the Marines, with your M16. But when the president declares an emergency, we're going to take your M16 from you, even though you done went and gave your life for this country. When the president declares an emergency and it's time to round up all these black folk and put them in some of these storage facilities. Until we decide what we're going to do with them. Y'all, why you think they building all these storage facilities? Y'all ain't got that much stuff to put in storage. Come on, y'all. Think. Storage facilities with running water. What boxes need with running water? Oh, man. Minority troops divided and detained along with all white sympathizers under guard, down to the 2nd hour. All minority leaders, national and local, detained. Why is it that they want to detain the leaders? You know, why just the leaders? Now, they ain't round up all of our people yet, just the leaders. 9. President goes on national radio and television and tells black folk and the Hispanics, y'all got 1 hour to stand down. All right. If they don't listen, down to 0 hours, all units under regional commands into the emergency. Engage. Now, here's a note, Zero Committee report, and this was called the Zero Committee, and of course talking about zero population. Survey shows that during a 6-year period, production created 9 million objects. What in the world is that? Or 1.5 million each year. Production could not dispose of the containers, which proved a bottleneck. However, that was almost 20 years ago. And remember, this was done in 64. 20 years before 64 is 44. 1944, 1943, 1944, that's when the Holocaust took place, y'all, in Nazi Germany. Yes. And what happened was the furnaces that Hitler used to burn these people weren't hot enough. Right. So when they start throwing the bodies in the furnaces, the bodies weren't burning up fast enough, and it caused the furnaces to get clogged up. So notice what this report says. We suggest that vaporization techniques be employed to overcome the production problems inherent in King Alfred. What does that mean? Well, as a result of this recommendation, they began to build what we call high volume or nuclear powered trash incinerators. And these incinerators burn 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Y'all listen, steel, depending on the kind of steel it is, melts between 2,600 and 2,700 degrees. Now, if steel will melt at that temperature, why do you need a incinerator that burns 5,000 degrees? So that the furnaces don't get clogged up again. When they take